Today you're in for a treat because I am making my family's favorite yeast rolls. I'm going to show you how to make rolls that look just like this. They are incredible. So these are my family's very favorite rolls. This is an awesome yeast bread recipe, and I make it probably twice a week, and we love these rolls. So let me just show you how to make them. They are made with completely shelf-stable ingredients, which is another reason that I just love these rolls. I always have everything I need on hand. You need 2 cups of hot water. Just gonna throw that in my Bosch. Then you're gonna need a 1/2 cup of sugar. Just kind of sprinkle that in. Okay, this recipe calls for 2.5 tablespoons of yeast. Kind of sounds like a lot of yeast, but they are yeast rolls. So sprinkle that, 2.5 tablespoons. Okay, and this is active dry yeast. Just keep it in my freezer, just pull it out when I need it. Okay, and a 1/2 cup of oil. This can be any kind of oil you want. This is light olive oil. You can use coconut oil, canola oil. You can use 1/2 cup of butter if you want. Any kind of oil or fat will work. So just throw that right on into your mixer. Now we need 6.5 cups of bread flour. I'm using bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour. Bread flour has a little bit more protein in it, so you'll actually get a better rise out of your breads that are made with bread flour, but all-purpose is fine. Okay, so 6.5 cups. Just scoop it and put it in your mixer. Okay, 6.5. Next, we're gonna need some instant dry milk. This is great for your food storage. 2/3 of a cup of instant dry milk. Instant dry milk is great for baking because it'll actually make your baked goods a little fluffier. It's great for preppers. You can use it. I actually found this for $1. Isn't that a good deal? Usually these are about $10, but I found a whole cartload of these for $1. So I bought about 10 of them. I didn't go crazy. Okay, now on top of all that, I'm gonna put a tablespoon of salt. I like to put the salt in last on top of the flour because sometimes your salt can interact with your yeast and not make your yeast rise as good. But the problem with that is sometimes, a couple times I have forgotten to put my salt in at the end. So don't forget your salt, because bread without salt is terrible. That's it. Those are all my ingredients. Now they're in the Bosch and we're gonna mix them up. I'm gonna let this knead for 6 to 8 minutes on speed 2. The dough looks great. I'll show you. Look at that. It's not sticky. I can work with it and touch it. That's how I like it. Okay, so I'm going to take this dough and I am going to put it in a greased bowl. So can you see it? Look how nice it is. Can you see how you can kind of stretch it? It means the gluten's really well developed. It's going to make some really good bread. Okay, so I'm going to put this into this greased bowl. I have this warm tea towel. I'm going to just drape it over the top, and I'm going to let this dough rise for about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, so it's been a little less than an hour, and I've been letting this dough rise. Let's check it out. Oh, it looks perfect. You see that? Looks amazing. It is definitely doubled in size. It looks exactly right. That's exactly what you want it to look like. Okay, now this is the trickiest part, is dividing the dough into rolls. It's really not tricky, but there's a little bit of math involved. Okay, first you're gonna punch down your dough like this. You wanna get all the, the air pockets out. So punch it down, pull it out onto your counter, and then just kind of squish it out a little bit. I am going to cook these rolls in this pan. It's a 9x13. It can be glass, it can be anything you have, but it's gonna make 24 rolls. And so I do 4 across and 6 down. So that's how I'm gonna divide my rolls up. I'm gonna take this. This is a really cool little scraper thing that can also be like a cutter. So I'm gonna take my, my dough and divide it into 6 sections. It doesn't have to be exactly right. I'm gonna add a little bit more here, a little bit more here. Okay. So now that I have these 6 sections divided up, I'm going to divide up each one of these sections into 4. Okay, so you're going to take a little piece of dough like this. You're just going to kind of fold it over and then pinch it at the bottom. You see that? Looks kind of like a rounded top. That's going to give you some really pretty rolls. Take a section of the dough, kind of fold it over, let it all meet at the bottom, squish it together like that. So you have this really nice rounded top right here. Like I said, this is the longest part of making these rolls. This is the longest hands-on part. And if you have any little kids around, you can teach them how to do this and then let them go to town. It'll keep them busy for a little bit. Okay, now that all 24 rolls are in here, I'm going to spray some plastic wrap. And I spray it because as they rise, if you go to peel off the plastic wrap without any spray on it, they'll stick to it and they'll collapse. And that is not good. Okay, so I'm gonna let these rise for about another 45 minutes to an hour. And I will show you at that point. Okay, so here are the rolls. They've been rising for about 45 minutes and they look great. This is exactly what you want them to look like. I've gone ahead and preheated my oven to 400 degrees. And I'm just gonna take this plastic wrap off. See how nicely that came off? If I hadn't sprayed it, they could have stuck and that would have been bad. So this is exactly what you want the rolls to look like so far. They're looking great. So now I'm gonna put them in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Look at those. Are they not gorgeous? So they are fresh out of the oven now. They look incredible. Hopefully you can see them. Let me bring them over there. Look how incredible they look. Aren't those so pretty? These are seriously the best rolls I've ever eaten. They're gonna be super hot. They're fresh out of the oven, but I gotta try one. Oh yeah, it's hot. I squished it a little bit. But do you see that? See how nice and fluffy and flaky they are? Ooh, look at that steam coming off of them. Okay, these are seriously the best rolls. Oh, it might be too hot for me to eat. Now I'm gonna try it. They're amazing. They're so good. Perfect, perfect, perfect yeast rolls. We're gonna have some tuna salad sandwiches for lunch today, and we're gonna eat them with this, on top of this, and they're gonna be great. So, thank you for being here with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.